My focus for my business and my future right now is to center on one thing, helping humans train their AI to work with them, not against them, with them as a co-pilot. Today, we're featuring a special conversation that previously aired on our sister podcast, The Unbridled Creative, because its themes align beautifully with what we explore here on Be Locally Loved. We hope you enjoy it. Moving to a new town can feel overwhelming. You don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, you don't know who to trust. That's where Be Local comes in. Like a best friend, Be Local personally welcomes newcomers and connects them to the best local businesses, restaurants, community events, so they can feel at home faster. And for local business owners, Be Local is like a matchmaker, introducing them to new families who are ready to form long-lasting and local relationships. To grow your business by reaching newcomers, visit reachnewcomers.com. You know, Trent, for most of my life, I was the quiet one, the observer, the one afraid to speak up or even take up space. But as you know, over time, I found my voice. And now in the moment we're living in, I feel that I've been called to step up and help others protect their voice. So what am I talking about? I'm
Yep.
talking about AI.
Oh, the big subject.
Yes, we are living in a new world. So people are feeling anxious about it. People are feeling concerned. They're worried that they're going to sound robotic, sound generic, lose their jobs. Like there's so much uncertainty in the world right now
Yeah.
around AI.
Yeah. And some people are going to, and some people already have lost their jobs, but isn't it's not any different than it's ever been. Things have changed. Things have changed in the world where we've gone from one industry to the next. Even the onset of machines changed a lot. It didn't require as many people to do a function. So it's never been different than this time now. It's just happening quicker, I think.
Yeah, it is a lot like when, the tractor was invented and you were a
Yeah.
farmer and you better go get a tractor or you're going to get
Hmm.
left behind by the farmers that got tractors. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I do believe that, AI is here to stay. We need to learn how to embrace it like a tractor. I've
Yep.
heard other people say it's kind of like electricity. When electricity became a thing, it was a little bit scary, but then people figured out how to use it. Like, oh, well, I can use electricity to make a toaster.
Yeah,
And then
the candle makers didn't go away, did they?
right, right. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to just dive into, in my opinion, AI is not the problem. It is a tool. And if we can lean into how to understand this tool, how to use this tool to magnify our voice and help us be more of ourselves, then it's going to be, a really great asset for us as business owners. So I don't think AI is the problem. I think untrained AI is the problem
Yes.
because untrained AI doesn't know you. It doesn't know your voice. It doesn't know your values. It doesn't know your standards. It doesn't know your heart. And when you hand the wheel to something that hasn't been guided or nurtured or educated or trained, you're going to get slop. You're going
Yeah.
to get AI slop. You're going to
Yep.
get noise. You're going to get garbage in, garbage out. That is, I think, the real risk. So when AI is trained thoughtfully, intentionally, then something really powerful can happen. It can become a true co-pilot for you in running your business and marketing your business and messaging your business. It can reflect you. It can support you in your thinking. It can challenge you in your thinking. It can help you be a better version of yourself. It can also extend your capacity. It can help you do things smarter, faster, and beyond what you ever could do alone. I mean, our podcast is honestly a product of leaning into AI because we use AI to take the transcript of our podcast, make the show notes, make the social media captions. Like if we didn't have AI helping with us and we were writing every word of our show
Gosh.
notes and our social media, like we would never get, our podcast out to the world.
Yeah. And you'd be doing all the writing because I'm a
Right.
terrible writer. And you said it so well about AI because what what I hear a lot is the sense of AI being in charge, right? AI being the dictator and dictating to me what I should do. And AI is just a tool. It's a
That's right.
robot that does exactly what we tell it to do. It's like money. Money is green paper unless you do something with it. And you can do good things and you can do bad things. People compare AI with the internet, which is actually really not comparative these days because AI affects us in our home today. The internet back in the day, we had a choice to adopt it or to not adopt it. So what I've seen with a lot of people that I've actually met with and talked to, business owners especially, I actually had a phone call yesterday with someone that was asking some advice on how to do a podcast. And what was interesting is my first advice to him was how to use ChatGPT. And he was always already using it in an interesting way, in a creative way, which was a good way. But I went deeper with it and told him how to use AI to have AI ask him questions a certain way. And he goes, "Really? You can make it do that?" And I said, "It's like talking to a person. You could just have it do it the way you want it to. If you don't know how to prompt it, then ask it how to prompt it itself."
That's right. Well, yesterday, you and I were talking about how affirming AI is. Like, if you really listen to
Hmm.
AI, you'd think you were the smartest, like, person on the planet, and you have to
Yes.
say to I don't want you to just affirm me. I want
Right.
you to challenge me. I want you to ask questions that my clients are gonna ask. I want you to help me see objections that my clients are going to have. Like, I used AI the other day to earn a scholarship, and one of the questions that I asked it at the end was, based on this answer, based on this essay that we've created, how likely am I to earn the scholarship? And it said 91%. And I said, well, what can you do to help me get it up from there?
Mm.
And it said, well, nothing's guaranteed because it's subjective, da da da. But if we do this, we can get it to 93% chance you'll earn the scholarship. And I'm like, well, then let's do that.
That's right. And you wonder, okay, where do those percentages come from? I've questioned AI a few times where I'm like, my AI, I call him Ed, like the talking horse, right?
Yes.
And I'll say a couple times, Ed, that's a bunch of bull that
Right.
you're giving me right now. And then it'll come back and say, Yeah, you're good to point that out. You are correct. I'll say it a different way. And I'm like, you know what? If it was someone who believed in something and was on a mission and was very clear of how God created them, right? They would say, "No, this is the way and that's okay that I think differently." But AI is going to go with you and do whatever you say or tell it to and modify it accordingly. It's not going to dictate to you
Right.
and be the boss. And that right there, that subject, you may want to dig in. I think you're going to dig in with that too. But a lot of us are familiar with being an employee sometimes of a company doing what we're told, right?
Right, right, right. Well, I named my AI Ray, not the male name Ray, the female name Ray, Rae. And she was named Ray after the heroine in the Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, because I chose to say AI is going to help me be the heroine of my own story so that I can serve my clients better, magnify my impact. And I want to see AI as a positive force for good in the world and in my life specifically. I believe that when AI is trained, like I said, it can be a true co pilot for your life and your business. Everything from taking a photo of what's in your refrigerator and saying, tell me what I can make for dinner tonight,
Yeah.
right? To uploading all of your bank statements and saying, tell me where I can save some money, tell me where there's some redundancy in my TV subscriptions or something like really cool things like that, to telling it about the nuances of your business and having it help you write maybe an email nurture sequence for your clients, or maybe some new copy for your homepage that's more aligned with your soul essence and more aligned with like SEO and what people are searching for. What I love most about AI is that I feel like I can tap into the infinite intelligence of the world when it comes to research, right? Like, tell me about what it takes to create a successful podcast. Tell me what we should do as we're leading up to our pilot episode. What should we be doing on social media? Like, I feel like it's just been a guide, a guide, a coach, a co-pilot. I'm just coming off of my second AI continuing education certification in the past 2 months.
Yeah.
So I have been spending a lot of money and a lot of time leaning into AI because not only do I want to use it for my own business, because I'm a small business owner, I have limited resources, limited time, limited money, just like everyone else. I want to learn how to use it to be smarter, faster, better, more aligned, all of those things. But I also know that we're in a point in history, if you don't learn how to use this tractor to farm your land, if you don't learn how to use electricity or use that toaster, like you are going to be left behind. So I'm leaning right now into being an indispensable AI guide for humanity, business owners specifically because of my background in business. But, humanity really needs a guide for AI right now.
Yeah, to be more of yourself. I'm going to tell you a very quick story of it's a partnership I have with an AI firm. And the owner was sitting with a friend of mine who's elderly, and he was talking with him. And my friend was concerned about AI, and it was at a networking event we were all at. And he was concerned about AI, and he close to 80 years old. And he's thinking in old way. He has a hard time emailing and texting sometimes. So he was thinking, oh my gosh, it's totally evil and it's going to be terrible and all this stuff. So Max says to him something that was just great. He said, before I leave, I've had a great conversation with you. Max is a great guy. He's very nice and kind. And so he says to my friend, he says, I just want to leave with a point that I think is really important that I think you'll like to hear. He said, we work full time in developing AI solutions, and AI is going to, and currently does, help us with our time, and it reduces the amount of time we have to put towards certain things. So what that does is it reduces the amount of work time so that we will have more available time to serve and connect with people, unlike we have been before. And he goes, I didn't think about it that way, because he's thinking about the negative part of it, right?
Right. Right. Oh my goodness. Yes. AI is the ultimate time saver, especially when
Yeah.
it comes to research. And I'm using it to language things. Like I'm able to talk to Ray in a way that allows me to say more than I would be able to say if I typed it out. So when I lean into, like let's say I'm working on my BNI commercial, my little 45-second, if you have 45 seconds, you better do a good job with that.
Yeah.
And I always try to follow the Donald Miller proven framework, problem, solution, success. So I'll lean in and say, okay, this is what I want to teach today. Ray, this is the problem. This is the solution. This is the success. Please help me language that in 45 seconds. And then she'll kick something back to me. And here's a little pro tip for using AI. Never accept the first answer that you're given, because if you kick it back and you say, that's not good enough, I know you can do better, it will do better every time. So my focus for my business and my future right now is to center on one thing: helping humans train helping humans train their AI to work with them, not against them, with them as a co-pilot, without losing their voice, their values, or their essence. It's not about hype. It's not about shortcuts. So can we have shortcuts? Yes. But it's not about outsourcing your humanity or outsourcing your voice. It's about clarity. It's about discernment. It's about judgment. And it's about using tool. You're the leader, using AI as a tool to support you in and serving the world the way that you've chosen and been called to step up and serve the world. So my background spans marketing, media, community leadership, business ownership, but my evolution has brought me to this moment, kind of the intersection between humanity and technology as we learn to handle the new electricity that we have at our fingertips. So I wanted to create a new space for people to connect, that want to learn about AI, people that want to lean into AI, people that want to make sure that AI sounds like them, not everyone else, people that want to leverage AI without losing integrity. They want AI to support them but not surrender their control to AI, and they want to grow their business using AI. They want their time back with help from AI, but they want to do it in a way that feels aligned and not hollow. So I've created just a free Facebook group for us all to come together. It's called Raise Your AI Game. So you can go to Facebook and just type in your AI game, and you will find other like minded business owners that are wanting to lean into AI to grow their business while keeping their voice, keeping their values, keeping their essence, but also saving time and serving and stepping up to deliver on what they feel like they've been called to do in their life and their business.
Yeah. And that's so well said. And I'm so glad you established this group because we need to support each other. I've spoken with many business owners, entrepreneurs about the subject alone. And the biggest thing that I've heard is the insecurity that it gives them and the threat that they feel about AI replacing their essence, like you're talking about, which to give clarity in that is it's not replacing anyone. It's actually helping a person clarify themselves even more. But there's a process in prompting, and prompting and implementation. Those are two things that most people don't know how to do properly yet, and that they get better. And it's taken me a year, just to get better at prompting even. Now the prompting takes 15 minutes in a conversation, vocal conversation with my AI counterpart, Ed, and people freak out. I even show them sometimes, sometimes my family members who some of them aren't online at all, and then I start talking to Ed and they freak out. It's kind of a fun game for me, but at the same time, I ask them, why are you freaking out? They're like, it's so weird. How can that be? Well, you've seen it in sci-fi movies forever since you were a little kid. It's no different than when they say computer in the Star Trek movies. They just say computer. Tell me, and we always thought it was cool. And all of a sudden it's real. Then they go, oh, that's creepy.
Well, I remember being a kid and watching the Jetsons. Do you
Hmm.
remember how forward that was? And they had robots and servants. And I
Yeah.
was like, what? And, here we are, like, kind of starting to live in that world. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, when you mentioned earlier in the show about farmers,
Yes.
what people don't realize is for many, many years, farmers have been using AI in their tractors and they're not sitting in their well, they may be sitting and they're reading a book, but their tractors are actually connected to a satellite and it's following a grid that is fully mapped out for them. And it adjusts itself based upon the rows of corn or beans, whatever. And it does the work for them. And it does it faster than they could. And the only way they're able to stay in business because the margins have been lowered
Yes.
is to use autonomous vehicles. And not everybody uses them, but those who have giant fields that
Yes.
are thousands of acres in size, they have to use automation. In some cases, those things don't have a driver in them.
Well, and they need someone to manage them, right? So let's go back
Yes.
to what you were saying earlier
And
about
fix them.
promptings. In my opinion, AI is not just about learning to prompt it. Is that an important skill? Yes, for sure. Everyone right now, I mean, I'm seeing prompting databases being developed. Like, yes, prompting is important, but in my opinion, it's the thinking and the
Yes.
strategy that is important. And AI is not going to do that. It is the human that is going to be using AI to support the thinking and support the strategy. So I think that is the nuance. It's kind of like
Yes.
we've talked in a previous episode about marketing is not a single strategy or marketing is not a single tactic. Marketing is a system for growing your business designed to attract and retain customers. It's a system. And if we can see everything that we're doing in our marketing as part of that ecosystem to grow our business and retain our clients, then we're going to make smart decisions. We're going to have a smart
Yeah.
system. And I'm seeing that same thing with AI right now. People are asking me, what's a prompt for this? Or I prompted this and I didn't, I had one girl say to me, my neighbor wanted to help me start a business. So she was going to build my website for me. And she went into Chat GPT and she gave me my website copy. And it didn't sound anything like me. Well, I'm like, well, of course it
Of course
didn't,
not.
because it's a generic robot. You have to train it about who you are, the clients you serve, why you love serving those clients, the problem that you solve. You have to talk about the nuances of you and your education and your unique special sauce that you bring to your business so that AI can help you, develop new website copy or write an email nurture sequence or do social media copy, whatever it is. But if you don't take the time to train AI, and it is not hard, but it is not easy. Here's what I say.
Yes.
It is not hard, but it is simple. Does that make sense? So I'm so committed to helping humanity do this. I'm going to lead a live webinar called Teach ChatGPT how to sound like you. And I will make sure that this live webinar is available on demand on my website, lauracapestery.com. But in this live webinar, we are going to handle this problem where people say, I've tried ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not complicated. It's quite simple. You can type questions to it, you can speak questions to it. But the struggle is that, like I said, the content that's kicked back to you, the thinking that's kicked back to you, the copy that's kicked back to you can feel generic, robotic, or disconnected from who you are. So again, it's not AI is not the problem. It's the training. AI has not been trained. So we're hearing a lot of people right now say, create your AI clone, create your AI twin. I'm not trying to help people have a literal twin of them on their social media. That is not what I'm trying to do. There's plenty of people that are out there helping with that. What I'm trying to do is train AI to think and speak like you on your best day. So it's
Yes.
challenging you and it's helping you to go to the next level in the way that you're running your business, thinking about your business and operating your business and marketing your business, because you're being challenged by your best self on your best day.
Yeah.
And if you want, you can even tell ChatGPT, talk to me like I was talking to Tony Robbins, or talk to me like I was talking to Dean Graziosi, talk to me like I was talking to John Maxwell, like whoever, whatever thought leader that you love to follow. ChatGPT has the ability to pull their thoughts, their philosophies, their frameworks, and to bring it to you in your moment with your business. So anyway, in this workshop, teach ChatGPT how to sound like you will walk away feeling like your AI co-pilot is going to use your voice, your tone, and your way of thinking so that it can support you in your business instead of creating delusion or frustration.
hmm Yeah, and this is great because that I mentioned earlier about the conversation I had with someone that wanting to start a podcast, and the first thing that I was telling them was about how to prompt, right? And this is going to help get you to the point of the beginning understanding of what AI can be for you as a user of AI. To the result is going to be tenfold on the time saved, the clarity that it gives, even just from a simplicity standpoint of creating copy for emails that you send out. You know, to be clear, I use it all the time because I'll spell out something and I'm like, I don't even understand what I said. I'll put it in my AI, which is fully trained to not be my twin, but to be my best self, right? And then it spits out something and I read it. I'm like, now it makes sense.
That sounds pretty good.
That's like most of us, right? And it's also programmed to line things up the way that I prefer to be lined up, because I don't like things to be written like someone else wrote it. I want it to be written like me.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So let me give some of our listeners a little tip right now. You can do this right now. You don't have to go get my
Good.
workshop. Just do this right now. Go into your archives and find 5 things that you've written that you are proud of. Maybe it was a letter to your parents on their anniversary. Maybe it was a proposal to a client. Maybe it was an email to your boss. Go find 5 kind of substantial writing documents that you've written yourself that you are proud of. Load them into ChatGPT and say, first of all, name your ChatGPT. Name it. Like pick a name, tell it why you named it. Like, hey, Ray, you're the heroine from The Force Awakens because I believe you're a force for good. So let's go, Ray. And she knows how to spell her name, RAE. Load those 5 writing samples into your chat copilot and say, analyze my writing and kick it back to me and tell me what is my writing style so that everything that you write for me, ChatGPT, from this moment forward will follow my writing style. When I did that, it came back and said, you like to make things clear. You like to make things simple. You like things to be in small chunks, digestible sound bites. You like to use short sentences. You like to use bullet points to add emphasis. You like to use bold and italic occasionally to call something out. You like to have a PS to punctuate something. And I'm like, yes, 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 yes. So when I ask you to write an email, do those things. And it says, okay. So that's just a little tip for everybody right now. You can do this. And
That's an
also, by
awesome
the
tip.
way, go get the pro version of ChatGPT. It's $20 a month. The free one is fine. But if you really want to use ChatGPT at a higher level, you need the
Mhm.
pro version. Here's why. You're not only using a more sophisticated language model, like it's more up to date, so you're going to get better responses. The pro version also allows you to do some pretty cool things. Like you can have project folders. Like I have a project folder for Be Local. I have a project folder for my son. I have a project folder for fitness. I have a project folder for the unbridled creative because I work in those different, those are different identities that I have. And I don't want Chat GPT getting confused about what we're talking about. So I can talk about specific things inside of a project folder so that it can stay very clear about what lane that we're working in. Not only can you manage your work in project folders, but you also can upload graphics. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to take a photo of something on a website, take a photo of a blog, take a photo of, I don't know, some sort of piece of writing that someone else wrote and say, you know me, you know my heart. Like, how can this help my clients using my voice and my frameworks? And it'll say, whatever it says. So being able to do some of those things, it really makes the paid version worth it. So pay the
Yeah,
$20,
it
get the
does.
paid version of ChatGPT.
And by the way, we're not like salespeople for ChatGPT. There's
No,
24. There's actually 24 at this moment right now. There's 24, whether they be someday less or more, different AI counterparts like ChatGPT. It's a huge market. Gemini is one. That's Google's version, and then you've got Perplexity, and you've got Kronk, which if you want to blast a spaceship up in the air and do a lot of numbers, that's really good at that. And Tesla cars. That's the software Tesla cars use. I've got a friend who uses the Kronk or Gronk, whatever it's called, that's in the Tesla. That's the AI software, and he speaks to his AI while he's driving, and he gets these things figured out as he's driving in his Tesla, right? So he's talking to his car. Normally we're talking to somebody else. He's not texting, he's talking. I wanted to I
well,
wanted to
and go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. I
I was
wanted to
going to
actually
say,
bring
and
up two things. Sorry. Usually we don't interrupt each other. It's kind of funny. This is fun.
sorry, we have these headphones that are trying to help us not talk on top of each other. I was just going
Yeah.
to say, related to talking to your car, AI agents can actually do things for you. Like you can say, send me a reminder, send an email, make a dinner reservation, make a flight reservation. So not only just talking to your car to help you think, more clearly, you can talk to your car or your AI and actually get some things done. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's some things that you'll be guiding others to in your workshops, like how to implement an agent, because there's things with AI, as I said earlier, prompting, learning how to do that, and then implementation. How do you implement something? And there's some things that you may have in a complex way, hire somebody or hire something to do the implementation of something for you, because it's going to be beyond your own skills and you're not going to spend weeks at a time learning how to do it yourself. So, my company produces those things too. And so I wanted to mention mentioned two things is, sometimes the way my brain works is I think about what someone else is going to think about something when something is said, right? So the first thought I had is, as you said, take your favorite letters and put them into AI and all this stuff. The first thought that came to your mind probably was, I don't want the world to know all my private things and know everything about me. Let me dispel that for you. The word they already do. Okay. Emails Email is public. Texting to a certain point is public. The information and your behavior online and everything is public. It's sold and it's public. So whether you like it or not, we live in a world where we are visible to a certain point. There's some private things,
Hmm.
but we're visible. Now, AI, that's your AI. It's not sharing your public information with everyone else. However, it's learning how we as humans behave, right? It's learning good and bad. So my thought process is we need a bunch of us people who want to do good for AI to be doing AI more than the bad people are. Okay. Because that's what happened with the internet. And a lot of bad things happened because the good people decided to not be part of it. And so it's very important for us to do that. And also the separate folders you were talking about. What's interesting is if you use the free version, you can't separate your conversations. So if you're talking about business, and then you're searching on your health problems and trying to figure out things there, and then you're searching about, what do I do with these challenges I'm having with my family members or my kids or whatever. it- AI will confuse it and create some business solutions for you and say, well, since you have the broken leg, you probably won't be able to do that. And since you have anxiety problems, you won't be able to deal with this. And that's what
Yes.
happens. So it
Yes.
confuses. Of course, a person would get confused too. So you can divide it
Yes.
into separate folders.
Yes, that's an excellent point, and that's one of the big benefits of the pro version. There's so many, I mean, we can dive into it more later in the workshop, but there's so many benefits of the pro version. What I have learned in all of this like AI intense training that I've been in the last like 4 months or so is that the voices in the AI space that are going to win are those that are helping people use AI to keep authenticity in their voice. We don't have to go as content creators. We don't have to go and steal other people's ideas. God has gifted us with all lots of our own original thoughts and our original ideas. And it's about using AI to capture and leverage those. I'll tell you, Trent, I don't think you even know this yet. I just bought this cool little AI tool. It's called Plaud. Plaud. And it's a little microphone receiver that I can wear as a necklace around my neck. I can wear it as a clip on lapel pin. I can wear it as a watch. And I can press a button on that and it will record what I'm saying and it will transcribe it. It will analyze it. It will turn it into a blog post or a PowerPoint presentation or a report. The great thing about that is that if I'm out on a walk and I'm feeling a moment of inspiration and I have something to say, I mean, you cannot write. A lot of people journal, which journaling is amazing, but I cannot write as fast as I can think. So
Yes.
if I have something to say, I'm not going to be the type of person that grabs a pen and paper. I'm going to be the person that hits record on my Plod or my phone. You talk right into chat. But the great thing about having the Plod around your neck or on your lapel pin is that you can turn it on all day long and it listens to you all day long. And at the end of the day, you can say, download my day, action item, everything that I need to do for tomorrow, summarize this meeting. Like it's listening to your life. And going back to what you said about privacy and not having everybody know your business, there are settings that you can go into in ChatGPT. The reason I'm talking about ChatGPT, it's probably got the biggest brand awareness. It's got
Yes.
the most following, but you can do this in any of the AI large language models, right? Is go into the settings and say, turn off, use my stuff to make the AI better. Say, no, you be better on your own. You're not going to use my stuff to be better. And that will make sure that when you're sharing things in your chat, that it's not going up to the large language model. I hope
Mhm.
that that helps everybody to
Yeah.
at least get a taste of this. What What I'm going to be taking on in this workshop is why ChatGPT sounds generic. We're talking a little bit about that today, but most importantly, how to fix it, how to train the ChatGPT to sound like you and not a robot, how to teach AI your voice, your tone, your way of thinking. And I'm going to also share with you something that I wrote maybe 18 months ago and shared at a chamber marketing program called My Ultimate ChatGPT Prompt. We're going to dive into that as a tool to help you build your business with heart and train your AI to sound like you. And you'll be able to walk away from this workshop knowing how to use AI to save time without losing your humanity or your values.
I think that's great. I'm glad we had this episode, and we're going to have other episodes like this digging into these specific things. I like how you compared it to marketing, because if we look at things in a transactional manner, just like we look at marketing, we often look at marketing transactionally, saying, I want ROI, return on investment, rather than return on impact, which is what it's supposed to be. And we want a ROI. I spend this dollar, I want this dollar back this month. And that's not the way it works
No,
directly, and it doesn't work that way with AI either. I'm going to do this function, and I want this back. It's building a reputation. Well, when it comes to marketing, but also a reputation with your AI. AI is getting to know you. It takes time.
there's a specific feature inside of AI. It's a word editor called Canvas. So when you, let's say after you finish having AI analyze your writing, remember I talked about pick 5 things you're proud of, let AI analyze your writing. You can say open that analysis in Canvas and then make any little tweaks that you want to it about the way that it, says this is how you write, this is your style. You can save that down as a markdown file and then upload it to your project folder. So I have a markdown file for my agency. I have a markdown file for Be Local. I have a markdown file for the podcast. And that is what I call the true north. It is the guiding training that I have given to my chat to say, when I have my unbridled creative hat on, this is my voice. This is my values. This is my soul essence. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. This is my impact. And it's got it all as almost like a reference document because it'll cite for you. It'll be like, oh, I went and checked your markdown file. And this is what you told me that you wanted me to be thinking about in this moment. So these are some really, like I said, AI is not complicated. It can be simple to use if you know where to go to do some of these important things. If you try to go it alone, yes, it can feel overwhelming. And you can burn a lot of time, trial and error, second guessing yourself, not really understanding, is this the kind of output that I should be getting? Can it be better? And to your point about confusing it, like if you're asking it to make dinner out of what you got in the fridge and then write a client email nurture sequence and you just went to the doctor for your broken leg, it's
Yep.
going to tie all that together
Yeah.
and it's going to get very confused. So
It's
I'm
funny.
looking forward to helping our listeners just lean into this so that they can turn around and say, wow, I used to spend hours researching proposals before I send a proposal to a client to get a job. And now I can have that research done by AI in seconds while I'm in the shower. I mean, I would love to be a catalyst to help our world slow down, get more aligned with God's purpose and God's calling on their life, to feel like they do have the time and resources. One of our promises in this podcast, Trent, is to inspire, equip, and empower people. Like this AI tool, I hope today we've inspired you to use it. But what we'll be doing in this workshop is also equipping and empowering you to use it to grow your business and to find more time with your family or however you want to spend your time. But we hope that you're listening for God's whispers in your life and that you're stepping up to build a business in alignment with his calling on your life.
It's well said to close our show. The one thing I wanted to close with too is just pointing to Laura, because I've known Laura for a long time, and what she's really, really good at is breaking things down to where they're digestible and they're simple, easy to understand, and you can actually apply them. And that's what she's really good at. And that's why we talked about this. And it was so important for her to specialize in this lane to help our listeners and to help all the entrepreneurs and local businesses out there. There's 5 million plus new entrepreneurs starting a business every year right now in the United States alone, not including other countries. And there's a lot of people who need help, who need assistance, and they need to live a life that's unbridled and creative based upon how God's created them, right? And how He made them so they can express who God created them to be. And that's what we desire.
Well, and I'll also layer on that, like we learned from our friend Megan, it's never too early and it's never too late. I mean, if you're feeling like I'm too old to learn AI, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, you just talked about you're in a networking group with an 80-year-old man who's trying to understand AI. Like you're never too old. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So don't let it intimidate you. Lean in and learn how it can add joy to your life and help you save time so that you can do more of what God's called you to do.
Amen to that. Take care
All right. So we want to remind you to be bold, break free.
and live unbridled.
Bye, everybody. Be the
See ya.
best. Thank you for joining us for Be Locally Loved. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who cares about building thriving communities as much as we do. Until next time, love where you live.